I was younger, I traveled to St. Petersburg, Russia with some friends and family for the 2018 World Cup. And to put it lightly, it was an experience you'd never imagine. So many different types of people, cultures, customs, and more in such a unique place. Many individuals dream of such opportunity, yet have even traveled outside their own country. Of course, this is due to multiple reasons such as finance, fear of traveling, and of course, language barriers. As someone who's traveled across the world and done plenty of research on this topic, I will be presenting you information regarding the fear of traveling, hodophobia, language barriers, and the ways to overcome these problems. Traveling is a common concept many do for either work, business, or vacations. Traveling alone, on the other hand, is a different story. Hodophobia and language barriers tend to be the biggest defectors against traveling as a whole, especially if you're going alone, completely blind into an area you've never been to. So, to start off, according to Gurmenture.com, physical barriers are a thing of the past. Distances, regardless of how far, wide they go, obsolete. Planes, cars, boats, and more have made such a problem of the past obsolete altogether. However, this has opened our eyes to a new problem: language barriers. Language barriers is a term or concept typically referred to with two or more subjects attempting to communicate despite not understanding each other's language, tone, or accent. An example is an American trying to communicate with a Japanese despite both speaking completely different languages, in this case English and Japanese. On the other hand, the fear of traveling, known as hodophobia, is the fear of traveling that can range from different types of intensity. This can range from simply riding within the airplane or having a complete breakdown over the fact that you are entering a country or area you've never been into. So that being said, I'm going to give you a few examples and more about these two major problems. Starting back with language barriers. Language barriers are a common thing, however, they're slowly becoming more and more obsolete in this current age. Most foreign nations currently teach English as one of their major programs within their school system. While on the other hand, translators, guides, and more do exist. And of course, learning languages has become increasingly common, affordable, and quite literally simple from all types of different apps and programs. Simply preparing in advance is the best way. However, there's a chance that you may come in completely blind. An example, you did not prepare in advance to visit for Japan. A simple konnichiwa, advice, directions, and more can be quite intimidating, confusing, and even worse. While on the other hand, according to WebMD.com, hodophobia, as I said earlier, ranges from different types of intensity. Some may say it's nothing more than an extreme case of homesickness, while on the other hand, some individuals might have a complete breakdown within the airport simply because they're arriving late for their flight or their flight being delayed for interconnecting flight. That being said, there are ways to overcome these problems. According to HarryClarkTranslation.co, overcoming language barriers is quite simple. Prepare and plan in advance. You can learn the language for the nation you're visiting, however, it is not necessary, but it can be quite useful if you come again or have further business within that same nation. However, the easiest and simplest way is simply translators and guides. Downloading a translator on your cellular device is quite simple and will be a lifesaver. While on the other hand, hodophobia can be a bit more tedious, as it won't simply vanish overnight. There are ways to handle it, such as simple and plain therapy. However, the easiest way to handle hodophobia is quite literally planning and preparing, similar to language barriers, along with remaining calm to avoid panic attacks and high anxiety. Of course, that being said, I hope you all learned something from this presentation regarding hodophobia and language barriers. Overcoming these two problems is quite simple if you simply plan and prepare in advance. Of course, this is coming from an individual who's traveled across the world and done plenty of research into this topic. So I hope this pushes some of you to traveling into a country you've never been to, regardless of fear, barriers, or more. With that, I wish everyone un buenos dias and adios. Turn it off now.